So for our first story, and this is reported in the Mail and elsewhere, perhaps the most infamous of the many Dominics to have risen to prominence over the last few years, Dominic Cummings, is at it again, trying to overthrow the regime through the medium of blog posts and Twitter. Boris knew about the May 20th party, he says, and lied to Parliament. Cummings is prepared to say that on oath. The PM is claiming, remember, that he was not aware in advance. There are many other photos yet to appear, says Cummings. In other words, worse is to come for number 10. Cummings will say more when Sue Gray's report is published. And perhaps most chilling of all, if you're Boris, was this. Tory MPs, every day you delay the inevitable is a day the new PM isn't spending doing stuff to save your seat. In 2024, you're asking for 18 years and a fifth term. Very, very tough. Promises won't cut it. New PM must have delivered. TikTok. He is determined to bring down Boris, Josh, isn't he?
Dominic Cummings is the ex from hell. Absolutely. He should never have broken up with him. He's just out to get him. He's got the sex tapes. He's got everything. He's going to go all in and just absolutely destroy. But I think it's just very funny when he says, he's willing to call the Prime Minister a liar under oath. That's brave. I'll call the Prime Minister, the whole country will call the Prime Minister a liar under oath. That is not brave. That's what we all know. There's been evidence time and time again. And now, of course, it's hilarious to see what the government are trying to do to shore up their support and get through. One of the things that no one's really talked about is they're talking about banning alcohol in number 10. That's one of the things that's what we're going to do now. We're going to ban alcohol and then the whole country will fall apart.
They've had enough alcohol.
I think they've had enough.
They're like, we're fine. Yeah. We don't need any more alcohol. This whole thing, on these bits of papers that you give us as sort of crib sheets, Boris Johnson knew in capitals about May the 28th.
They're the articles.
They're the articles. Well, yeah, but I know they're the articles, but it's just knew about the party and lied to Parliament. I mean, there is something Shakespearean about it. I think. I don't really know, to be honest. It's what people say.
But I think lying to Parliament and then being proven to be a liar, as opposed to just sort of general political propaganda and all the rest of it, is... I think it might even be perjury.
Right, yeah. But what about lying to us? What about lying to us? We're the people, by the way, didn't we? I didn't vote for him, but other people did, and they lied to them as well. And by the way, all those people in the Red Wall who are saying we feel like we've been lied to, well, that's because you have.
Absolutely.
But in terms of I'm talking about two things. You're talking about the moral compass, and I'm talking about the actual legal. What can actually happen.
Because he's already been caught.
I am talking about the moral compass. You're right, and to be honest, it's insane that we still are with Boris Johnson because everyone knows that he lies and has done through his life, and normally someone else has tidied up after him. Now he's the Prime Minister. So we're all tidying up after him, and this is what it'll come to. But banning booze at Downing Street, well, that will do the trick, won't it? Really?
I mean, he's already technically, in trouble because of lying about the wallpaper stuff.
Yeah,
so I mean, that one hasn't gone away.
I do find it. I think I'm susceptible to the media, and I read stories, and I'm like, oh well, maybe he's not that bad, or maybe he's awful, whatever. But today,
that's very susceptible. Depending on which paper you're reading.
I'm easy meat, easy prey, easy red meat being the expression of the day. But I find it amazing how they are able to recalibrate the public conversation and distract and do all these things.
Headlines. These are headlines and big letters and, oh, look, over there. And it's all like, I remember when my kids used to get really moody, you dangle keys in front of them, right? And that's essentially what the newspapers are doing. Dominic Cummings, do people read that? I mean, is it just a few journalists who read that?
His
blog?
Substack. I try to read it, but it's hard work.
You've got to pay for it, haven't you, as well?
No. Maybe he's got one for, paying subscribers.
Patreon
Today's
or something.
One he did for free.
One other thing, by the way. I can see why Boris Johnson, he's just got his new wallpaper and furniture in. He doesn't want to leave right now, right? No. Surely he's just getting used to that. Although, have you seen it? I couldn't live in it. It was just awful, considering it was designed and paid 30 grand for it.
It's crazy, yeah. So we'll see what happens. But I think some people don't want him to go, within I think
Who
even
doesn't want
well,
him?
I don't think
He's still popular. If we moan about him on this show, we get lots of angry people.
But I don't even mean that. I mean, like, I actually believe Labour doesn't want it to. I think it serves their interests to keep him there and just let. I mean, if you look at the polling, Tories are just going down every day. They're just going down, and Labour's going
points,
up.
43 to Labour, 30 to.
There hasn't been a turnaround like this. I mean, he was 11 points ahead in the election in 2019, and now he's 10 points behind. But I think the Tories, I think the interesting thing about this as well was the Tories saying we're going for 18 years for another election victory. They've been in power a long time. So whether Boris can win another one, but I agree with you. I think the Labour Party want him there as long as possible.
Right, we move on to the